This season's had it all. A journey with twists and turns. Two heavyweights going at it, left and right, left and right. Never giving up. It had darting, charging silver arrows so fast out the blocks and hitting the bullseye every time.
Lewis Hamilton with another Grand Prix victory. That is 6 in a row to start this season for him.
So quickly though went the ride that the grid, underdogs, favourites, rivals and allies all blurred into one. And that way the madness lies.
This deal spreading grid is so close now, it's crazy.
It had intrigue and infighting. It had a future champion willing to bet it all.
Today, the news has broken that Max Verstappen is leaving Red Bull to go to Renault F1.
And it had those that simply wouldn't lie down and told that they were not the chosen one.
It's our first win in the Alfa Romeo, the Canadian Grand Prix. We just gotta keep chipping away at Hamilton's lead.
It had moments where the world was spun around and the people held their breath and exhaled to breathe again. It had all this ride, this roller coaster of glamour and glory.
It's a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo, the Italian Grand Prix.
It had new race victors.
Lucas Weber, Grand Prix winner today.
And a new rivalry forged out of pure grit and determination to be the best.
And it's another sensational battle between myself and Lewis Hamilton.
And what you do when this ride is nearly over. The greatest ride, the thrill of a lifetime. You take your seat. You strap yourselves in and get ready. Because there can only be one victor here today. After one final ride. So here we are then, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It all comes down to this for the Season 2 finale of my F1 2019 career mode, the championship decider between myself and Lewis Hamilton. What's up guys, welcome back to the F1 2019 career mode, episode number 43 for Abu Dhabi in Season 2. If you guys did miss the previous one, the Brazilian Grand Prix, then be sure to go check that one out before you see this one. It sets up this finale episode. It was quite a cracker of a race indeed. We had a bit of a miracle in that race, and I'm hoping the F1 gods are looking down upon us here at Yas Marina. But going into the finale then, upgrades for us, upgrades for a lot of different teams going into this. So we finish off the season with Alfa Romeo Racing in the middle of the pack, despite us starting maybe towards the top end and wanting to fight at the very top for the R&D chart. We end up in the middle. Mercedes are 4th best, but not too much of a gap actually. You can see there physically between myself and Mercedes. We're actually very close in comparison. Toro Rosso round out the season looking very strong indeed. The only team to get anywhere close to Renault on the R&D chart. So that's going to be a very interesting thing looking into Season 3, how that progresses. Williams then 3rd, of course. Red Bull in between myself and Mercedes. McLaren has Ferrari and a Racing Point ending out there. So very interesting. I mean, looking for how it progressed from Australia to Abu Dhabi. That is a very odd looking R&D chart indeed, of Renault going from the bottom to the top, Toro Rosso, Red Bull going bottom, then top, and all over the place, and ourselves and Mercedes, you know, starting at the top and kind of being mid-pack for half this season, the second half of the season. But it's made things very interesting being halfway at the mid-pack, myself and Hamilton, means that both of us haven't been able to get massive points ever since maybe the Italian Grand Prix, where it was my last race win at the Italian Grand Prix. Ever since then, neither of us have got massive points, really. And so it's set up this championship where it's only 3 points in it between myself and Lewis Hamilton. It's been a long old season, but it comes down to this. Let's get into the first half of the video and the race weekend. Saturday qualifying, it's time to bring out the big guns over one lap.
Here we are at the beautiful Yas Island circuit, where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
So we go into Q1, then the end of our first flying lap then as the sun comes down here, Yas Marina, and the floodlights will obviously light up this night circuit. We come through the last corner being a pretty decent lap, I would say, to just get through into Q2. Not blistering, but decent enough to get us through into the second part, but just trying to wind and dial into the circuit a little bit and find the best way to go about it. But I mean, myself and Kimi there, quite a close 9th and 10th, so maybe that's just where the car is, and if Hamilton's up there in P4, then that might be a little bit worrying. But as has been the case for the last few episodes, I'm confident we can try and match Hamilton. Me and him have been really equally matched in the last 5-6 episodes. It's been great to see, actually. It's made a real great title fight, us being so well matched here in different cars. So here we go now into Q2, and we come to the end of the long back straight. A little bit of a lock-up on the front left. It drifts our car a little bit on the rear end. You'll notice we have the yellow wall medium tyres on the car right now. The slower compound of the two available, the soft and the medium that we've been running today, as we're just doing a bit of a bank lap, really. I wanted to just test it out. A bit of understeer in the second last corner, so clearly these tyres don't have as much grip as the softs as you would expect, really. But yeah, just want to get a feel for the circuit, really, and try and wind up to it again, because I didn't really feel comfortable in Q1, so I wanted to make sure I could just get a bit of a cycle lap in on the medium tyres, and then we go into our proper flying lap. I mean, to be fair, that lap wasn't too bad. We're P9, P10 now as it stands on the from the medium tyres, but it kind of basically just means that we have to go out for another run, because we will be knocked out of Q3 if we don't go again, because the gaps are too close between myself and Norris there, P11. The rest of the cars remaining at the moment. Leclerc fastest of all, but then Verstappen goes ahead and nicks that as soon as I say it there. So the Renault's obviously looking as strong as ever. Don't know where Hamilton is at the moment. Bottas is only just ahead of us, so we'll see how the Mercedes pace is and how Hamilton's pace is in this second section. That might give us an inkling of how Q3 might go, but we'll go across the line, P4 there, and in the end though, at the death of it, as we go on through the simulation of Q2, in the end, Raikkonen and myself all the way down in P9 and 10, and thankfully Raikkonen does make it through with us, so we have both Alfa Romeos trying to fight for positions. That'll help me out, you know, possibly Raikkonen bumps down Hamilton by one position, you never know. Any other bit of advantage I can get, I will take there, but the pace wasn't amazing there at the end of that, but that might have a lot to do with the simulation times at the end of Q2 compared to in Q3. We'll be running out twice in the session, because we've got two tyres, two softs to use, so the simulation kind of glitch won't really occur too much in this session, and so we should have a bit of hopefully a bit better pace here in this top 10 shootout, and hopefully we can try and match Hamilton a bit more, because that was really quite poor in Q2 and a little bit worrying. But a lock up at the end of this straight, really bad stuff there, just like in Q2 with that first run on the medium tyre. So gonna find some time in that corner for sure. Across the line though, it's P3. To be fair, it's beaten Hamilton right now, so it's a actually decent time. We maybe gained some more time in sector 3 compared to sector 2, and as we go on to our second flying lap there, you can see in the top right, we've gained a little bit, but hardly much there. Only a few hundredths that was after not locking up, I can tell you, at the end of the back straight. But we gained way more time in sector 3 there, having a bit more momentum through that chicane, obviously the right and then the left. And as we come through the double right-hander towards the hotel section there, keeping that gain of time there. At the moment, Lucas Weber on provisional pole position, Verstappen second place. I'm still in third, ahead of Hamilton in fourth place there. I'll be very surprised if we end up here, because I'm sure the Toro Rossos will be kicking about, maybe onto the Ferrari car of Leclerc or Vettel, as Weber goes even faster for his provisional pole. Raikkonen now matches me, and he's in fifth place there. Verstappen there as well, across the line for us. What is it going to be? It's going to be, in the end, P8. Raikkonen beats us in the final qualifying of this season. P6 for him. Hamilton gets P7 and beats me in this final qualifying duel between myself and him, but it's very close stuff there. And once again, myself and Hamilton share a row. Again, for about the third time in a row now. This really has been such a tasty end to the season in terms of qualifying battles between myself and Hamilton. But you can see, look at the pace of the Toro Rosso album there in second place, splitting both Renaults. Red Bull of Pierre Gasly and the Ferrari, really surprising pace there over one lap, so that makes things interesting. It's going to be, again, a fight over the last kind of smaller points paying positions, I think, between myself and Hamilton for this title. So that is going to be it. That is Saturday over. It's time for Sunday. No more excuses. It's time to try and get the job done. Let's go to the grid for the final race of Season 2.
It's twilight here in the United Arab Emirates, and twilight also on another Formula One season. It's been a captivating story throughout the year, but will we see one final dramatic twist before the end? The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Island circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of around 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. Alongside me for one final time this season, it's Anthony Davidson. What a year it's been, Ant. It's been an absolute pleasure. And now, how are you feeling ahead of Lights Out tonight?
Well, it's been a breathtaking year of F1 action, and there's one more sting in the tail to come here tonight, I reckon. We've been all around the world, but there's still everything to fight for, and what an occasion it is as well. There's a real sense of anticipation every time we come here to Abu Dhabi, and here's hoping it's a fitting end to a very special season.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And starting alongside is Lucas Faber. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Gasly, Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, the engineer, Bottas, Vettel, Perez, and Alexander Albon, Russell, Hulkenberg, Lando Norris, and Magnussen. Raikkonen, they've taken a grid penalty. Grosjean, Daniel Ricciardo, and Antonio Giovinazzi. Stroll and Devon Butler starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So thankfully there are no grid penalties for either myself or Lewis Hamilton. We do move up a little bit, so Hamilton's now 5th, I am 6th now, due to some penalties for other people, but I'm very happy it's going to be a fair fight between myself and Lewis now for this title. The final race, both of us starting from where we qualified, obviously a little bit shifted, but next to each other, still on the same row. Very exciting times, and so the strategy today will be, well, either a 2-stop or a 1-stop there, trying to see if there was any difference of a 1-stop from using the hards to the softs. Apparently my team think that's an option, but I honestly don't think so. I think the 2-stop's gonna be the way to go, but either way, we'll cover off Hamilton. So in reality, if he goes for a 1-stop, I feel like we would have to go to that just to kind of, match him basically toe-to-toe. But either way, it's gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be quite a tough one because I don't have my rear gunner anymore. Raikkonen has been sent quite a fair bit, so it's just gonna be me alone Alfa Romeo versus Hamilton, and maybe Bottas might get involved in the fight here. But from the 3rd row, it's gonna be a bit of a tense opening few laps, I think, in the pack, basically, for both of us. But it's all now come down to this. 20 rounds gone and 1 round left for this season to declare the Drivers' World Champion between myself and Lewis Hamilton. We go to 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We're underway. It's a good start for us versus Hamilton there. We can get into turn 1 and go side by side with him for that next P5 position. Hamilton on the outside. We squeeze him out, leave him space though, and we've got that. Hamilton slow off the corner, I think on the curb, and we're up into P5. We've made a crucial overtake already on Hamilton, but a bit slow over the bump for us, and Hamilton with a huge dive bomb down the inside and to the outside for the next corner. He's still there. Will he keep his nose in for the hairpin? Let's see. We've just got the line. Hamilton does try and make a bit of a dive and a desperate attempt to keep the nose in, but we're going to get that on the exit. He'll slot in behind and remain in P5. It's still a 1-2 for Renault, shock surprise. Then you've got I think the Red Bull Pierre Gasly and Leclerc then P4 ahead of us. We remain P5 down to the brake zone at the end of the back straight. No lock up for us, and so we've survived that opening part of the first lap. But Hamilton and Bottas are right there, 2 silver arrows coming for my neck, and so we move on to lap number 2. We've got a long Grand Prix ahead of us, 26 laps to go. Hamilton now lurking, no DRS yet, just pure slipstream, but that Mercedes car quick, and with a lock up on the front left, we go very deep, and Hamilton gets in through and gets the elbows down. He's actually managed to find some space on the outside there. Didn't think he was going to go for it there because I went so deep, but somehow we've come out unscathed actually there. I thought Hamilton would have had me on the traction, but I think he went over the bump and displaced the rear end of his car a little bit, so we maintain that P5 position ahead of Hamilton's P6. Behind in the Toro Rosso, I think, has just come through and overtaken 2-3 cars there, so that Toro Rosso mighty quick. Both Toro Rossos looking to make up places in this race, but it's a 1-2 for Renault. Like I said, Verstappen leads the way from Weber, then Gasly from Leclerc, and then it's myself sparking away there through to the exit of turn 1, and Hamilton still keeping on my rear end and keeping the pressure on, and the Toro Rosso is gaining though, and that Toro Rosso might just enter the fight and be a spanner in the works today. Not just this one, the other one as well when it comes through there, but Devon Butler's been really sent to the back with a grid penalty, I think, to the last place of the grid, and so this is Albon there making the positions, and he's already overtaken Hamilton. Then round the outside he went into the chicane at the end of the back straight. Now he will come waltzing after me, and I'm not going to put up too much of a fight there, just like we did at Brazil. It's not my fight with the Toro Rosso. He can overtake me because I need to focus on this man, but you know what, saying that, Hamilton not resting down and taking it, he comes back on the very next lap, DRS open, and re-overtakes the Toro Rosso car. So Hamilton not having any of it and wants to be directly behind me and not wait around for me to be overtaken by the Toro Rosso. He's taking it an active role and overtakes Albon and gets back up into P6 then. Still Gasly is in 3rd place, but Leclerc tries to make an overtake round the outside. These two going hammer and song. Great battling stuff there as they're side by side through the chicane section into sector 3. Gasly on the inside, Leclerc the long way around in the Ferrari, but the Frenchman I think will just about have that. But a great fight between these two. Haven't seen too much of them all season, nor have we seen these two cars battling in the front end, but the last race of the season, good stuff there for 3rd and 4th place. But now as we move back to our POV on lap number 6 then, we are catching Leclerc and Gasly slowly. Their fighting definitely has slowed them down, and we are now kind of finding our feet a little bit. I was kind of shocked at how good the pace was of these two up ahead of us, considering how slow they have been in the recent last few races, but we are catching them. But an issue for me is Hamilton and Albon are equally catching me, and they're pressurizing me, because there he goes. Albon now overtaking Hamilton, might go for the dive bomb on me as well, down the inside. He locks up, double lock up, and he nearly plows into the side of us there. So close, and that could have been a calamity, so we just about avoid that. Saw Albon in the mirrors and gave him all the room in the world by going wide on purpose and deep into that left-hander, and he just made the overtake, and I'm going to put my hands up and just let him do that, basically. And now he's through up into P5. That could have been nasty. If I actually turned in normally for that apex, that would have been Albon straight into my side pod, and who knows, that would have been the second time a Toro Rosso's trying to take me out of a Grand Prix in the last 2 races. First it was Devin Butler last race, and now Alexander Albon. We move on to lap number 7. We're using Albon now as a bit of a tow with DRS there, so he's helping me out quite greatly to keep ahead of Hamilton as the tyre wear kicks in a tad on the soft tyres there, and keeping Albon honest there. I was quite surprised actually didn't waltz away in the distance, but looks like maybe he's being hit with some tyre wear as well. But like I said, I'm not too fussed about that. He's helping me out with the DRS tow as we go through the final corner on lap number 7. The tyre wear is kicking in quite a fair bit as we kind of drift through that final corner. That was with a lock-up as well on the front right tyre, and Hamilton is piling on the pressure now as we move through to the back straight. Lap number 8 then, it's very close to our pit stop phases, but Hamilton is looking to make a late move in this first stint, and he's going to come knocking with DRS there. We move to the inside of the circuit to defend the inside line for the next left-hander. Hamilton on the right-hand side with the big dive bomb there. It's very fine margins there, little bit of tyre wall grazing, but we go for the switchback move and straighten the car faster, get the power down a little bit earlier than Hamilton, open DRS as well as we get the second activation, and now we're going to swing through and get back up into P6. So very tactical plays there with Hamilton, and we maintain that position for now as we swing through now the last 2 corners. Hamilton will dive in to the pit lane. We continue on. I want to stretch this stint a little bit longer than Hamilton, but I also have to make sure I was covering him off and seeing what he's going to do. And so let's keep on with this and see what tyre he goes on to as we go down the pit lane. He's going to strap on a set of medium tyres, confirming that will be a 2-stop for Lewis Hamilton. So it will be a 2-stop race for both of us here. Raikkonen, we haven't seen too much of him, but he's actually quite close to Hamilton, to say that. So I talked about not having a rear gunner. Raikkonen actually is not too far off Hamilton here. He's actually in a very good first stint. He's now onto another set of soft tyres there. So 2 sets of softs for Kimi Raikkonen. So going for a very aggressive 2-stop there. So that actually, might give me an indication the tyre wear might not be too bad as I thought it was. And maybe, I will be going to a set of mediums, but maybe I think about going to another set of soft tyres at the end of this Grand Prix, because I feel like I've got all U sets of softs and mediums, so there's no real difference and advantage of a clean set of tyres. I don't have any, and they're all scrub sets, so I might think about going to soft tyres, depending on how Raikkonen does on this second stint, if he's got some good pace on a second scrub set. So let's see, as we go under the tunnel then, the most unique pit lane exit on the F1 calendar, and we come through, Bottas in with me, and we're going to come out behind Hamilton. So the undercut has worked out for Hamilton, but now I've got 1 lap fresh medium tyres, and I've got all the momentum in the world on the fresh set. I'm going to go chasing after our championship rival. Purple R sector on lap number 10, on to lap 11, and so we've got only 1 man in our sights up ahead, and it's Hamilton. And trust me, the first time Hamilton gives me a chance to strike, we will be taking it. Not going to dawdle in this final race of the season. Good chicane for us on that same lap 11. Great exit, get the power down, DRS open, overtake mode engaged, rich mix flowing, and we're gaining in the slipstream. The Alfa Romeo is an absolute rocket ship on the right hand side. Here we go, we're going to go for it, lock up on the front left, but Hamilton is slow, gives us the space. We go for the inside line switchback move, and it's an absolute peach of a switchback, but Hamilton comes back through with the dive. Such close stuff there, nearly contact on the right hand side, but we've made it work at the first time of RC. Like I said, we've got it done. P7 in the Grand Prix, and once again ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And look who it is, Kimi Raikkonen, the Iceman, my teammate, coming through, overtaking Bottas. He's now only got Hamilton to go with a bit of clean air. He could just catch up to him. Look at that, that's where Hamilton is. We're very close to him with Raikkonen as well. So Kimi is coming back into this Grand Prix. I said at the start of the race he wasn't going to be my rear gunner. Maybe he heard me somehow through the kind of video, because he's now right there in a kind of checkerboard of Alfa Romeo Mercedes, but a little bit slow, you saw there, into the chicane. Very, very deep there. there. Try not to lock up there, but that's compromised my line. And so I look behind me a little bit nervously. Hamilton comes charging through, but just doesn't have the same pace as this Alfa Romeo car did with the DRS, ERS and Rich Mix going there. So I'm loving our car. That extra engine power upgrade, remember, for this episode, we had that final engine power upgrade for this race. It's coming clutch big time. I can feel that engine power upgrade difference. But no amount of engine power upgrades are going to help us on this main back straight. It's long enough for Hamilton to get a good enough tow. And so lap 14, halfway through this Grand Prix, he comes knocking once again. He's coming, he's coming. We go defensive to the inside there, into the brake zone. Big lock up on the front left. Hamilton is able to send one round the outside to the inside for the next corner. Sends me wide. We both compromise our line. We're now neck and neck. Hamilton's just got the edge. But look at that in the mirrors. Raikkonen comes through. We've got DRS. No, we've not. Hamilton's got DRS. Raikkonen's got DRS. I've got nothing. But it's going to be 3 wide. And Raikkonen sends one to the inside of both of us there to make the double pass maybe. Kimi on the inside. What a man to the inside of Hamilton. He's going to push him wide. Can we follow Kimi through? Desperately trying to do something, but it's not worked out. We've been completely mugged off there, and we're down to P8. But Raikkonen has come out of nowhere. The clutch job, my teammate here, trying to back me up, and he's done even more than that. He's gone ahead and overtaken me, but now he's set myself up. I can try and overtake Hamilton in this next lap, and maybe even Kimi if I'm lucky with enough slipstream. I know this car's fast enough, but there I got fully mugged off with that compromised line. That was, to be fair, what a move by Raikkonen. But here we go, going to the left-hand side, toying with Hamilton a little bit in the mirrors. DRS open, but look at this. This car is ridiculous in slipstream there. And we go round the outside, try to overtake Kimi, but Raikkonen with a very good line there to defend the position. And to be fair, I'm going to wind down the car now, go to lower fuel modes, open DRS, get a tow off Raikkonen, but use that to save some fuel now and some ERS because he's on soft tyres, remember. There's no point fighting him. Basically, I've let him go. I've done the correct thing, really. He should be the one out front right now because he's going to pit earlier, which he will do right now, lap 17. And so that was perfect there. I actually got on the tow, did a purple first sector, green second sector. It was able to save some fuel, able to save some ERS, and now Hamilton comes in on that very next lap there. But Raikkonen on softs, he was faster then, so it only makes sense he was actually able to make that overtake, to be fair, and that great exit he got to make that double pass on myself and Hamilton. But Hamilton now in for a second stop onto another set of mediums, and I am going to come in on lap number 19 and take a leaf out of Raikkonen's book and go to a second set of soft tyres this night time here at Yas Marina. So we're going bold, we're going aggressive, and we're going to the red wall striped soft tyres there. May as well. I've got a scrub set of mediums, scrub set of softs, so there's no real difference in terms of having a fresh set of anything. May as well go for the fastest compound available. Yes, they might be a little bit tyre wet at the end, but I like this aggressive strategy here, especially with the overcut we're doing. We're going to lose some time here by going one more lap longer than Hamilton and even 2 laps longer than Raikkonen, so we will need this softer compound tyre to try and catch back up to him as we go through now on the exit. It's very close. Raikkonen is going to be right on my right hand side. Look at that, so close. Fine margins there as he cuts across me there, but perfectly timed. And so we come out behind Kimi, just ahead of Devin Butler, our F2 arch nemesis from the F2 days. But we come through now, 8 laps to go, P14. I think Hamilton is behind us, I'm pretty sure. So right now we are looking very, very good. DRS open now on this back straight. We could even overtake Raikkonen straight away. And this time, we're on the softer compound tyre, so he's going to be the one to give way and let me go racing here. So here we go now in some clean air. Going to catch up to some traffic potentially of Grosjean here, but we are going to now try and use these soft tyres to good use and bolt away and be a bit comfortable for the last 8 laps of this Grand Prix. Hamilton is there indeed behind Raikkonen along with Devin Butler. But here we go now, lap 21. It's going to be a simple pass, I think, to the inside of Giovinazzi there. Bit of a dive though, actually having to be made there from quite far back, where we go really aggressive on the squeeze there and get up into P6. But look at that, Gasly still P5. I assume Leclerc's still P4. Someone else must be up there. I think Albon that is, but Leclerc and Gasly doing a crazy job in this Grand Prix to still be right up there. But here's a replay then of, whilst I overtook Giovinazzi, this is a replay of Devin Butler coming through in the Toro Rosso car. Raikkonen goes for the move on that same the Haas car of Giovinazzi, but look at that on the left-hand side of the track. Devin Butler with a double overtake. That Toro Rosso really is an incredible machine. It really has improved so much in this last third, and like we said, what we showed on the R&D chart, nearly matching the Renault car there, and so that is going to be a car I'm not going to mess with. Butler, we had a big issue at Brazil. This time I'll go none ERS on purpose, let him through, he can do what he wants. I am focusing on the championship. I'm doing an Alan Prost, keep it cool, play to what I need to, do the minimum job I need to do. No need to be a hero here in this race. I'll be a hero when we cross the line and win this championship. We've only got 6 laps to go in this Grand Prix. not long, just need to wait it out and see this job through. Butler is through up into P6, I'm down to P7. So in the makeup of this Grand Prix then, Lucas Weber leads the way from Max Verstappen. Verstappen was leading for the whole first stint here, but I guess on the tyre wear situation and the pit stop strategies, Weber has got the better of Verstappen. To be fair, that's a good job for him because Verstappen's been on a streak of about, I think, 3 race wins in a row to end out this season, so it'd be good to see Weber break that and not have such a dominant end for Verstappen there going to season 3 maybe with too much confidence. Then you've got Leclerc in P3 somehow, Albon chasing up in P4, then got Gasly P5, then it will obviously be Devin Butler in the other Toro Rosso car chasing after that pack. Then you got the 2 Alfa Romeos and myself and Raikkonen, and then it's going to be 1 Lewis Hamilton, the championship rival, just ahead of the McLaren there. But on this particular lap, I'm not actually worried about Hamilton, worried about Raikkonen. He's looking a little bit dangerous there. Wasn't a great exit for me on that hairpin, so he's going to come through with DRS. We've got DRS off the Toro Rosso car, but Raikkonen comes through, closes up. Is he going to make a dive? We go defensive to the inside. No, alas, thankfully, Raikkonen does not make a proper pop there, although he does get squeezed into that left-hander there, so he might be compromised a little bit, and Hamilton pushing on flat out, trying to catch up, and he will indeed actually catch up to Raikkonen now as we go through into the last few laps of this Grand Prix. Then we're still out there ahead of Raikkonen, but Hamilton makes his move and makes his play to try and set up this this opportunity to maybe try and come up for me and overtake me in the race. He goes past Raikkonen there with DRS to the inside there. Pretty easy move actually for Hamilton. Raikkonen though, I'm hoping he can come back through and be the proper rear gunner I need him to be, and maybe try and re-overtake him and battle him back, and he will do just that. Kimi being an absolute gem of a teammate there. Love your work, teammate. Round the outside he goes. Hamilton across the curbing, and Raikkonen back up in that position, and Hamilton will have to do it all over again if he wants some clean air to try and chase after me. Raikkonen's done it, and he's been an absolute amazing teammate there. He's really done well this race, you know, because he had that grid penalty. Didn't think he was going to be in it with how far back he was, but he's come back through in the first stint and is now being such a great one in the second stint here. But Hamilton eventually will go round the outside. It's a lovely move there by Hamilton. Such a late break zone there for him, and he waltzes through, dances through almost round Raikkonen, and now he's got free air. He's only got a few laps left, but he's now got the chase on for myself, and it's time for us to focus back and try and soak up the pressure as we move on now to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Hamilton is in 1 second of us. We've got overtake mode to use and some fuel to burn, but Hamilton's got the DRS here into the brake zone, the end of the back straight. Hamilton, oh my god, Hamilton with a late brake zone there, cut the corner a little bit, he did, and got the nose right on the rear end there, almost hit us. That could have been a little bit controversial, but now the second back straight, Hamilton with a poor exit, we're able to keep it through. It's going to be Lucas Weber that's won the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but now we've got one final sector to go. We've just got to keep this through, keep the wits about us. We've got 3 points on Hamilton, and we're going to finish ahead of him in P7, so we are definitely going to book in the championship win if we keep this position. Just a few more corners to go. Lucas Weber wins. I'm assuming it was Verstappen in second place. Then I'm going to say probably Albon and the likes of Leclerc, Gasly, and then Devin Butler, who's definitely ahead of me in P6. But we come through in P7, our lucky number P7. It was meant to be P7 through the final corner of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to become the Drivers' World Champion in Season 2.
Fantastic drive, and it means you're Drivers' World Champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion.
So there we have it. P7 seals the Drivers' World Championship for us there against Lewis Hamilton. What a fight it's been. These last, 6-7 episodes have been relentless pressure against him. It's been such a close battle, so closely fought in qualifying, and every race we ended up close together at the finish as well. It really makes it for a great finale. I hope you guys enjoyed that race. That was a real tense one, and it was real great to see some of the action there, especially with Raikkonen at the end there, making the moves on Hamilton and helping me out as well, doing a mega job as a teammate for the first time really this entire season. Obviously in the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes did win it actually last race. They booked it in, but we're never going to really get that, to be fair, to the way the season went, how dominant Mercedes were at the very start of the season. But interesting read of the Constructors there. Renault climbed all the way up to P4 there, ahead of Red Bull with the dominant display they showed at the end of this last third of the season there. So great stuff for them. Toro Rosso almost caught Red Bull, and to be fair, in my opinion, deserved to finish ahead of Red Bull this season. They're doing a better job and being the #1 Red Bull team compared to the actual works kind of Aston Martin Red Bull team compared to Scuderia Toro Rosso there. And a bit of a weird season for Williams and McLaren, because they look to be doing a lot better than they actually did in reality with the points they got each race there. But a really, really mega fun final race of the season to round out what has been such a fun second season of F1 2019 career mode. Guys, if you did enjoy it, be sure to smash the like button, not just for this episode, but the entire season 2 of this career mode there. Let me know what you thought in the comments below of that title fight. If you're on your own here, do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. It's time to come through to the end of the race weekend, collect our Drivers' World Championship trophy. We get the trophy in the main menu screens there, looking lovely as ever in my trophy cabinet now. Our first of many, hopefully, Drivers' World Championships, knock on wood. But that has been the end of the season, guys. I'm going to leave you there with the stats of the season. Pretty successful, I think. You know, we got 5 wins there in this season. Some really good races. The most memorable one was probably Monza, to be fair, with the 1-2 for Alfa Romeo. Absolutely awesome stuff there, that was. And then just the title fight, like I said, the last few episodes have been crazy against Hamilton. And in the end, we won out against Lewis, formidable foe. And so that is the end of the season, guys. But I'm going to leave you with that and leave you questioning and guessing what the plans are for Season 3. Till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
Nice job this season. You've been performing well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year.